Hello, hello, hello. My eye is better. I don't know if you noticed. It's not perfect, but improved. Hello. Wait, I actually wanted to keep the background music. Now I'm getting fucked over. Wait, the light's a little something, huh? No, I'm super white. Well, that doesn't change much. Oh, God, dude. Why are these settings all messed up? All right, whatever. This is fine. Hello? Hello, 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 hello. How are you doing? Where's the flannel at? I'm wearing my traditional Marketing Monday outfit, which is my shirt of my dog that Ari made me, and this nice blue shirt over it, which I think comes from a very fancy place called Target. Canadian outfit? What the fuck is Canadian about it, bitch? What the fuck's Canadian about it? He's a trad wife now? What is this? What about this is trad wife? This is a very male outfit. 2014 LA outfit. You guys don't, I think you guys are Mad Libsing. I legitimately think you're Mad Libsing. You have no idea what type of outfit this is. You just want to say it's something. I have to have a comment on the outfit. I can see the Canada vibes. I'm not saying they couldn't wear this in Canada. Believe me, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's not particularly Canadian. God damn it, the fucking lights are off. You know, I gotta fix this. Maybe that's it. Yeah, that looks better. A little more balanced. Bro wants to be Canadian so bad, I can promise you I don't. I can promise you, dude. I don't want to be up in the frozen wastes watching the worst marketing of all time. Canada tux. Let me see what Canadian tux looks like. So when you say Canada tux, you are in effect referring to an all denim outfit. You're referring to this. Right. And you understand that I'm not wearing this. Like, this isn't even denim. Right? So like I'm not wearing fucking blue jeans. I have a normal t-shirt on and then I have a shirt over it. So it's not, I feel like you're incorrect in every aspect. I think you're just patently false. Canadian tuxedo equals blue. So to get 100% clear, if I wear any outfit at all that's blue in any way, that is now a Canadian tuxedo, and you've got me. That doesn't seem very fair to me. It seems like you guys have taken such a broad spectrum of options to declare yourself a winner. That's like if you shot a basket and then missed and you said, yeah, but it was in the score zone and you just count the half court and then you take the point. And it's like, all right, well, that doesn't seem fair to me. Hey, you'd still find a way to miss, bum. Quack, you are literally 4'3". Quack, see me on the court any time. You'll be looking at my knee. I literally I tower over you. It doesn't matter how many rings you have on your fingers, little bro. You can't make the fucking shot if I can posterize you. And I'm gonna block by James at any fucking shot. You could build these walls, I'd tear them down. Nobody between us, not that silly. How's everybody doing? Okay, let's not start off on the wrong foot. Let's start off with a bright, cheery attitude. I have some good news. Damn, what was my good news? I was too focused on the posterizing. What was my good news? I really had some good news that I wanted to tell you guys. But now my eye's better. That's good. I woke up and I felt fine. I don't feel sick at all. There's There's still a little bit of scarring or like something. It's fucked up. I really think God keeps giving me his strongest battles, but Fizz guy, stocks are up. My stocks are up, but I feel like that's a little bit, it's not the kind of fun news you share with people. It seems like that's the kind of fun news is just bragging. Your eyes healed suspiciously fast. Faked illness to get subs. Do you think... Well, if I did fake this to get subs, it didn't work. I'm down. Subs are down, bro. I took like 2 weeks off of streaming consistently, so it didn't work. Yeah, you know what? I did all the work to fake the illness, and then I forgot to stream. That was my big mistake. Atrioc, you must be smoking the same shit as Oprah the way your wins are so free. Oprah Winfrey. Very, very nice. All right. All right. I get it. No, I get it. I mean, you got bars. Don't get me wrong. You got bars. I feel like it's more of like a call me Oprah. You know, you should call me Oprah because my wins are so free. Smoking the same shit as Oprah. You mixed two things. You merged. Atrioc on my market till I Monday. Nice, very nice, dude. Keep it up. You have a future in this. You got a future in this for sure. For sure, you got a future in this. Smoking that shit that made Oprah's wins free. I guess we're getting there, guys. I don't think we need to workshop this together. I just don't think it's the best use of our time collectively. We have thousands of people in here, and they're all extremely intelligent. Some of the smartest masters of their field. Do we all need to collectively work on the Oprah wins free joke? No, I don't think so. If we keep going, Drake will eventually steal our bar. That is the highest honor. If you can write anything that's like Instagram caption worthy, the highest honor is for eventually Drake to steal it and give you no credit. Let me play Erling Lounge. Tommy GFPV, thank you for the bits. CB Gibbs, thank you for the 11 months. Lucky TV, thank you for the 5 months. Hey, Big A. December's Truly, thank you for the 5 months. Cool Breeze, thank you for the 10 months. Swag Aladdin, thank you for the 5. G Money, thank you for the 16. Silly Billy with the 6. Hey, Big A, any chance you sell Enron hats again? Probably in June. I think, not for a while, my friend. But by God, in June, it's going to hit so hard. What up, Big A? Looking very glizzy and also fingers. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. You sure know how to compliment a streamer. Let me tell you that. Totally taking a shit at work when Marketing Monday starts. Bro, it'll be too long. Do you understand? You cannot take a 42-minute shit. They'll know. But I guess you can come back and dazzle them. He's a surgeon. He's in the middle of open heart surgery. Oh, I really got to take a shit. Oh, I'm sorry. No, just leave it open. And then you go and fucking watch the full. Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's a really good idea. That is a really good idea. I can tell that I'm dealing with the best and the brightest. Hey, Truck, did you see the cop that shot 20 times at nothing because an acorn fell on his car? The best and the brightest. The acorn was armed and dangerous. Look, he's keeping us safe. At the end of the day, he's keeping us safe. You need him on that wall. I watched A Few Good Men. I think you guys have ever seen it. A Few Good Men is the Jack Nicholson, Tom Cruise movie where he goes, "You want the truth? You can't handle the truth." I've never actually seen it. I've only seen the clip. I finally watched it. No way, it's Marketing Monday. How many good men? It was a few. He screamed, "I've been hit." Wait, I actually should see this. Acorn Cop. Let's see if this is what is funny as you guys are describing. Florida cop resigns after viral video of him mistaking acorn drop for gunfire. Let's see. It really saddens me that it's a Florida cop, because I figured if there's ever an elite fighting force in this world, not just in America, but in this entire world, if I had to picture who are the elite, the few, the proud, it would be the Floridian police. Yeah, the Navy SEALs of the police.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! You know. In the car! I was shot through the car!
Holy shit! Oh, I feel safer. I feel safer, bro. I gotta be honest with you. I feel a little bit safer. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes, this time it was an acorn, but it could have been. This guy's literally RPing. Yeah, dude, so many bullets. Blam! Blam, 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 blam. Yeah, it's like Reno 911. That's good. That is good. The triple roll. Let me see that. Let me see the roll again one more time.
Fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! You know.
So many bullets, dude. One acorn falls, he rolls 3 times. Blam! 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 Not aiming at anything. No target in sight. Whoo! That's sick. That is sick. And like, you know, it's a neighborhood. Just firing into a neighborhood. I love that. Love that. He did dodge roll the... Yeah, he got the iframes. Excellent. Excellent stuff. Oh, there's a guy in the back seat. So he's shooting at the guy in the back seat that he thought somehow had a gun. And I assume the guy was cuffed if he's in a cop car. And so obviously the guy picked the lock, Houdini style, on his cuffs, pulled out a gun, shot at him, hit it, and then threw an acorn to cover his tracks. And this fucking ace detective figured it out on the fly, dodge rolled all of it, and put a fucking pound of lead into him. As his guidebook says. As his protocol. He was fired for not shooting enough bullets. He's fired for missing, dude. Wow, that was crazy. That was much crazier than I thought it would be, I'll be honest with you guys. You guys sometimes talk about viral clips, and I'm like, these are not as funny as they should be. But that one was good. Hey, Big A, it's Tuesday where I'm at, so can you change the title? No, I can't, because you are not in America. And therefore, sorry to say, but don't really count. You know what I'm saying? Like you're actually, if you're Australian, you do count today. You do count today if you're Australian, or if you're from the UK. I have both UK and Australian stories in today's Marketing Monday, so a little foreshadowing should be good. So how about that? And I'll be happy to explain to you. Here's one thing I do, because I am what we call one of the good ones, okay, when it comes to American tourists. When I go to your country, I don't think of it as just like my country, okay? As an American, I'm like, oh, I'm visiting somewhere else. What I do is I just loudly explain to you in English why you're wrong, okay? And that's how I help build bridges. So I'll walk around any country, and then I will say, do you have McDonald's? McDonald's. In the UK, I'll do this. And then when they fucking hit me back with the oi bruv shit, I just don't understand. I shake my head. McDonald's. One of the good ones? No, the best of us. Did they stab you? No, they wouldn't, because I'm healing a divide. I'm bringing people together. I should be rewarded for it, but the world doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Most humble American, yeah. Are you going to the CS2 major still? Yes. Eamon Gaiman and I are going on a boys' trip to the CS2 major in Copenhagen, at which point I hope to also meet the Hitman devs at IOI Studios, though I have no guarantee that'll happen. But should be pretty fun. Should be pretty fun. If you are there, say hey. We'll probably say hi to people or do a little meetup or something. We did that in New Zealand. I don't know what we'll do, but it'll be fun. I'd love to IRL stream, but it is a pain in the dick, dude. This doesn't work. It's not plug and play as I hoped. But I'm sure I can figure it out. Can you please buy me a knife in CSGO? It's super cheap. Aren't they cheap now? I have like a note to myself that I need to research what price Aiden's knives are at so I can make fun of him. I literally wrote that down. I was like, hey, don't forget to make sure to know what Aiden's knives prices are so I can make fun of him on the trip. He's going to buy another one. Jokes on, yeah, I think he's doing fine. You know, I can't say he's hurting for cash. Big A, I have an elevator pitch I need you to shit on. All right. Kind of a weird way to open. I don't know that I really want to shit on it. What if it's good? I have an elevator pitch I need you to shit on. It's just a crass way to open, you know? If you're What up, sharks? I got this dumbass business idea I need you guys to shit all over. Yeah, he's like an elevator pitch cuck. It's like you're a masochist. You have a pain tolerance for. That being said, if the idea is bad, I guess I will shit on it. What was the idea? You're not using the chatter thing on screen anymore? Oh, you mean this? I am using it, motherfucker. Don't question me. If you pitched Twitch, do you think it would get VC funding? Do you think if I went around now to venture capitalists and said, hey, I have this idea for a website called Twitch? No, I think they might have some flaws. It might be a crowded market, as they might. Not really a blue ocean strategy. If you mean before Twitch existed, sure. I mean, it's one of the things I have mentioned many times in this very program, and also just in chats in general, is that a lot of people received a lot of money from venture capitalists for ideas that were very, very, very stupid over the past 10 years. It's been a golden era of frauds and scams and stupidity and dumb businesses and zombie corporations and free money and debt bubbles. And you could really get almost anything to get money, let alone a decent idea like Twitch. What if we bought Twitch and renamed it to A? Okay. It's already owned by Amazon, so they're probably not going to sell to you. But if you do it, cool idea. Hey, Atrioc, you mentioned the other day you were looking for more polished community content for the stream. I have an elevator pitch as well. Did I mention that? I feel like the community's made me like fucking 16 polished albums. I don't think I ever said that. I'm definitely not asking for more polished stuff. We've got a lot. They made a fucking award show that was... no, I don't think I said that. But yeah, I'd love to always hear ideas. Are you going to review Mr. Beast's latest video / chocolate ad? Are you the same guy posting this? Is this organic demand, or is this one guy posting the same message 100 different ways? Let's read. Atrioc. Oh my God. Atrioc, please do a review of Mr. Beast's new chocolate video. It's the greatest advertisement. Mr. Beast's new chocolate video is the best ad ever. Please review. Mr. Beast's latest video is the greatest ad ever. Please do a review. Mr. Beast's latest chocolate video is the best ad ever. Please do a review. Mr. Beast's new chocolate video is the best ad ever. Please do a review. Greatest ad ever is Mr. Beast's new video. Please do a review. You just Mad Libs every word. It's only you. I'm not kidding. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Test. After 16, you wrote test to see if I could see it. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 times in a row, you have asked for me to watch Mr. Beast's greatest ad ever. Jimmy Beast, I'll see your ad. All right, eventually. Jimmy, I think you're better than this. We've only been live for 23 minutes. And he changed it up every time. Every time he changed it subtly. It's not a copy paste, which is crazy. What do you think of the SBF photo? We'll talk about it today, bro. In fucking 4 minutes. And by that I mean probably 9 minutes. 9 minutes. What happened to the guy who was gonna make 1 trillion for the Saudi prince? Oh, you mean Masayoshi-san? He didn't do that, but some of his earnings have bounced back. He owns a big chunk of ARM, or I actually completely own ARM, which is a AI adjacent CPU company. They actually make the plans for most CPUs in most phones. And ARM's on Switch, and it is doing really well. So he's cashing out big on that. It's very manipulated, though. Battle report today? No, not today, though we might work on one. Atrioc, can you watch your House MD cameo? Okay, sure. I have a cameo in House MD? What the fuck is that?
Well, chat.
I fucking already hate this. I fucking already hate this. This is so bad.
Well, chat, I think it's time for a little hoos. Everyone should go grab a snack and a drink. Oh, I don't feel good, chat. Oh no.
Okay, that's the intro. All right,
Mike,
classic.
He presented with blood spraying out of his nose and loss of consciousness. Not interested. You need to take this patient. He's a megastar. And if you don't, you're fired for real this time, I promise. We both know you won't, but fine. Mike, these live stream VODs are hilarious. This guy's a real didgeridoo. Is there anything in your life...
Sorry, wait, who's saying this? Chase is saying this? Or is that 13? Why is she saying didgeridoo?
Are hilarious. This guy's a real didgeridoo. Is there anything in your lifestyle that would have caused this? Well, I'm a bit of a coke fiend, and I eat about 10 glizzies a day.
Not a coke
Think that's
fiend.
related?
I don't eat glizzies.
It might be. Bloody nose, glizzy fingers, with his coke habit. Definitely seems like a sinus infection. I need to talk to you, Cuddy.
What?
I was looking into this Atrioc guy, and I fell down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
Now I just can't stop watching The Yard. I'll block YouTube on your work computer. Also, I need you in-house to babysit my kid.
That's beyond the scope of their duty.
Melon? No. I have something
We watch Bluey now.
better in mind. The treatment didn't work. He's declining fast.
That's me?
I need you to look in his house for clues. Why is it always me?
You're a black man. This vexes me.
That's just the old... What?
Jeez, House is gonna want to see this. I mean,
Okay.
what type of doomsday is this guy prepping for?
Is that coffee?
Why didn't you tell us about your coffee habit, Brandon? Well, I guess it was just a bit of an embarrassed
I do not start every sentence with whale. I haven't even done that ironically in like 2 years. This is out of... No, I don't do that.
over here. Hey, Cuddy, you wanted to see me? Did you red pill my kid? She won't stop saying come and talking about how effortlessly cool Nick is. Well, I might have shown her one little podcast. How bad could it be? Are you kidding me? I'm giving you 400 hours of clinic work. Careful, House. Cuddy's being a real cow today. Say that again. Cuddy's a cow? I've got to go. There's a surgery still in development where we could turn Brandon into a cow. It's likely the extra stomachs are the only way he could live through his coffee intake. But who would do such a risky surgery? There, mate. All done.
That's incredible. That is incredible. I can put up with all of this. I really can. It is my greatest ability, my skill. My only ask to God, if there is a higher power, is that every person that makes a video like this has to watch it again in 20 years with their family. They have to sit down with their family and they have to watch it. And everyone has to see that they made it. They have to know. They have to stand by it. If you run for office one day, this has to be played in your campaign. Deal, my kids would be proud. You're not going to have kids if you made that video. I'll tell you that right now. I will tell you that right now, okay? Well, don't think you're having kids. I'll tell you that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 minutes until Marketing Monday. Let me make sure that I have my shit in order. Damn, I absolutely don't. I forgot to move this. I forgot to move this. Let me move this, and then we move this. Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Hey. All right, everyone listen to this song while I finish this last section. I got this. I got this. I got this. Oh. There it is. Okay. Staring at my phone. Okay, I feel good. Do ads? Oh, we can knock out an ad. Do a freezer. Oh, ads are started. They're actually already going. Did you see that Jokic is a league degen? I did, and I fucking tweeted about it. Actually, one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Wait, give me another minute. Let me just show you this. Did I reply to it? Where was it? Where the fuck was it? Yeah, right here. Dude, this is so funny. This is so funny. No way the NBA is letting a League of Legends player slut them out on a nightly basis.
League of Legends, and are you top, bottom, or mid lane?
Good job. I'm a top, and I'm playing. Who I'm playing right now? Urgot.
This is crazy.
League of Legends, and are you top?
The MVP of the NBA is also spending his free time playing Urgot top. That's fucking crazy. How can you be an NBA? It's so insane, dude. To me, it blows my mind that someone could be an NBA star and want to spend their free time playing League. It's like, it actually boggles my mind. You could do anything. You could private plane to Ibiza. You could be partying with fucking DJs. You could do whatever. You could build a dream mansion and relax in it. You could do whatever the fuck you want. And he wants to play League of Legends Urgot top. He wants to sit there on a fucking solo queue account and get yelled at. He's such a mind-bogglingly crazy character. Big A keeps you humble. Keeps you humble. Keeps you humble. Have you seen degenerate league players? Do they seem humble to you? Do they seem cool, calm, down to earth? Marcus Aurelius types? No, they don't. They're broken men. It's so bad for your mental. Unless he's playing fucking normals with friends, which I doubt from the way he described it. He's ergot top, bro. Oh, this guy's an enigma to me. I truly don't understand him. It's incredible how good he is at basketball for not liking the game and not liking himself. For actually not liking himself to play that much League of Legends. He does it so the trash talk on the court doesn't get to him. Now that rings true. If you play League of Legends solo queue for a few days, all IRL trash talk will no longer hit. There's nothing another player could say to him. Anyone know what his rank is? I don't know what his league rank is. No, I don't. I only saw this clip. He got more excitement for that question than any hoop question they ever asked him. That's so funny. Oh, man, that is funny. What a fucking crazy world we live in. What a crazy world we live in. All right, do I have of what do we need? Wait, I need... Wait, watch out for the sound. Watch out for the sound. Watch out for that timer. In my head at 4 a.m. Grab that. Ba-ling, ba-ling. Paste that. Okay. And then I grab this. Dude, have you guys ever heard this thing where like, you guys maybe don't work in slide decks very often, but you try to copy an image from Google into PowerPoint and it just stalls forever and says like searching for server. Have you ever done that? Because it happened to me a lot today and it pissed me the fuck off. And it's like very, very, very annoying. Like extremely annoying. Pissed me off to a... Oh, shit, wait. Watch out for the fucking timer. All right, we're gonna start. Anti-vape ads stress me out. I'm gonna hit the vape. I'm still staggered. I'm still stunned by the idea that Zoomers are using cigarettes to quit vapes. Again, not all of them. I'm just saying to me, that's so funny. It's such a flip of how things used to be. I'm using Zins. Zins to quit vapes. Good on you, King. I'm sure it's all gonna work out. It's like it reminds me of like Charlie Kelly in Sunny using like glue huffing to get over depression and then eating cat food to drown out the glue huffing so he can fall asleep. It's just like back and forth doing terrible things to your body to try and balance it all out, bro. It's not, you gotta just quit cold turkey, bro. It's not, there's no Zin is peak performance. Zin is good for you. I did see that poster of Jesus holding a Zin and it says Jesus died for our sins. And that was so sick that I was like, all right, well, now I'm on the side of God on this one. Faded on the cross. Yeah, mural that shit. They stopped selling Elf Bar, so I haven't hit up. What? Can you tell me exactly? An Elf Bar is a single-use vape. How does an elf bar work? I need an actual answer because I've been hitting it in the. It's just a disposable one-time vape, right? Okay, I know that elf bars have replaced Juuls as the most popular young person vape. They last for like a week. Okay, you just buy it, hit it, throw it away. Well, that's good for the environment at least. That's good. Elf bars are kind of out of style now. Well, then what's in style? Zins? Zins and cigarettes? Yeah, I guess that's the case, huh? That's base, dude. Hell yeah. Fucking hell yeah. What I like is that we're not back to cigars, bro. Is the timer broken? Yeah, I did pause it for a second. Because if the timer hits 0, it makes a very loud sound. Dude, why did I pick it the most... Wait, I got 18 Enron hats and I picked them... Oh, shit. Hello? Hello? Oh. I got 18 Enron hats and I picked the most fucked up one. Let me pop my freezer shirt in and get the fixed hat. Because this video's already... In my head at 4 a.m. Watching bugs and hello, Yule. Hey, where's my other Enron hat? Shit! My other one. Yes. This one's all dirty. It looks dirty on camera. There's no other one? I thought I like 10 of these. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Countdown starts now. When this ends, we go. After watching you play Balatro yesterday, I bought the game and was playing it in class all day. Dude, Ari played it today. I told Ari it was like Slay the Spire, and she went, wait a minute, what? And then she bought it on the fucking Switch, and then she sat down on the couch and played it a bunch, and I sat there watching her. Game's addicting as fuck. It's crack cocaine. Have you played Peglin? It's actually so fun. No, I can't add a new game. We're going to do Marketing Monday today. We're going to start here in just a second. And then we are going to play Outer Wilds DLC. Maybe not tonight, but definitely tomorrow and the day after. Big days of Outer Wilds. Should be Pog, should be Champ. Think of it subs. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we are back with Marketing Monday on a Monday, where we're going to cover all of the interesting news in the last week or two in business and marketing. All I ask of you is that you help me transition from this scene to the next one by analyzing with your eyes, working eyes, unlike mine, the screen, and tagging yourself when you see yourself. Wait, I'm going to get rid of this. Yes. Welcome to Marketing Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Marketing Monday on a Monday, February 26, 2024. Good to see you all again. I apologize. My eye is a little bit messed up. I was in an unfortunate Agni Kai debacle with my father. Huge apologies. But Warren Buffett, a few days ago, gave an open letter to investors of Berkshire Hathaway, talking about what the market is like today. And he said, it is far too much like a casino. And so we're going to lean into that today for all of the marketing news of the past week with Marketing Monday, Wins and Fails, Casino Edition. Starting with a fail. First up, let's talk about Wendy's. You know it, you love it, you probably order it late at night when you are feeling unhealthy and want a Baconator. Wendy's is one of the leading fast food companies in the world, third in America. This is their breakfast Baconator. It costs roughly $6. But what if, this is why I want to give them a fail, what if they came up with the genius idea of when you're waiting in line for it, the price just jumped up to $9.25. What if they introduced surge pricing for fast food? Brilliant! Brilliant! Wendy's has announced that they are going to spend $20 million, actually maybe more than that, on new digital menu boards that will change the prices based on overall demand. Surge-like pricing. Basically, rush hour in the morning or, after school or whatever. When they have most people, they're going to raise the prices of their menu in response to consumer demand. Now, theoretically, they could also lower it, though they were very light on details with that. And they could be more casino-like than that. So what it seems like is they're going to be a regular price for the burger. And then if you are in a demand situation where, for whatever reason you have to get it now, you have to pay more. And what I thought was interesting about this, first of all, there's a hilarious tweet. Wendy's selling a chicken sandwich for $30 to a single mother running late to pick up her kids. And it's the margin call scene. We're selling to willing buyers at the current fair market price. But I was reading some of the quotes from this article, and they were jarring to me, dude. How out of touch they seemed. For us, it was all about consumer reaction. The concern was, if we're going to raise prices, we're going to sell less products. But it turns out that really wasn't the case. This is what they found out over the past few years. They can keep raising prices and people still buy it. I think there's a lot of room for consumers in terms of price amounts they're going to accept. Generationally, I think we're seeing this being acceptable. As in, there's been some generational change where people are more willing to get fucked over on price increases. And I'm not so sure that's true. I, in fact, think people were flush with extra cash from COVID money printing and all of that. But as that runs out, people are getting more and more price conscious on the choices they're making. And I want to say that while surge pricing may work for Uber, this is a great example of a time a guy paid $800 for an Uber home on New Year's because the surge was 9.9x. He was drunk and just clicked it. And then he was due for an $800 bill. The problem with Uber is that when you are drunk and heading for a night home, you don't have a lot of other options. Again, in many cases, this is your way home. You don't have time to think about something else or find something else. You need to go, or it's raining or whatever. Surge pricing for Uber, the consumer has less places to go. With fast food, consumers have a lot of options. And if they truly feel like they're getting price gouged by Wendy's, they will go somewhere else, which is why this is such an important and interesting experiment and why I am sort of begging you not to fall for this surge pricing. Don't give into it. Every other fast food company is watching like hawks to see if they can get away with this. If this works for Wendy's, it will be rolled out fucking everywhere. It will be rolled out fucking everywhere. This professor said, if people feel like they're being gouged, they're not going to take kindly to this dynamic pricing strategy. And again, from what I've seen in feedback on social media and on the internet and in articles, people are furious. Actually, if you think of one example that you see over and over again, people are complaining about inflation, it's fast food. People don't even complain about healthcare costs as much as they complain about how McDonald's prices are more expensive. That is the most complained about thing. So I'm cautiously optimistic this is going to be a bit of a flop for Wendy's, but we'll see. The main thing for them, though, they get to say AI a lot. They get to say their new digital menu boards are driven by the power of AI to dynamically increase prices on demand. And so it's good for their stock, which is nice for them. So I guess it's a win-loss. Speaking of win-losses, let's give a win, okay? No longer a fail. To our man Sam Bankman-Fried, pictured here with Giselle, Tom Brady's ex-wife, smiling, happy, a different time. But look in his eyes. What do you see? What I see unfulfillment. I see sadness. I see an empty life of money and models and Bahamas sex parties and billions of dollars and the cover of Forbes. Yuck. Who cares about that? What he's got now is so much better. And that's why I give a win to this recently leaked photo of Sam Bankman-Fried in prison right there with his new cellmate G-Lock. Holy shit, this goes dumb hard, dude. Forget about this. Now this dude's balling. This dude's posted up. This dude's got cred. This is an actual stance. It's an album cover. Why is he stance like that at age? Wait, we have to tell you the answer. Why is he stanced like that? I don't know, bro. I didn't pose him. But this comes from Tiffany Fong's exclusive. She interviewed this guy, G-Lock. Let's get a little quick bit from that interview.
Sam didn't snitch on anyone.
He ain't snitch on nobody. Sam is a gangster. My mom told me if he was black, he'd be a real nigga, bro. Real shit.
Sam's making friends, bro. He's getting cred. So G-Lock, this guy here, was recently released, and he brought out this photo and some stories of his time hanging out with Sam Bankman-Fried. Wait, one more time.
Sam didn't snitch on anyone.
Keep it going.
He ain't snitch on nobody. Sam is a gangster. My mom told me if he was black, he'd be a real nigga, bro. Real shit, bro.
So Sam has some street cred now because he's not a snitch.
Yeah, he's official, bro. Sam is more gangster than Tekashi 6ix9ine.
He's more gangster than what?
Tekashi 6ix9ine. Sam Bankman still on all 10 toes. Tekashi, you ratted.
That's a good little.
Okay.
G-Lock.
It's a little bit different in Sam Bankman-Fried's case. He didn't have anything to snitch on. Everyone around him snitched on him. He was the figurehead and driving force behind the crime. Again, I want to jump into this a little bit. When I see a photo like this, I'm not a huge fan of our criminal justice system and the way our prisons are run. And it makes me uncomfortable to see people just thrown in cells like this and no chance of rehabilitation. But I also want to remind people not to forget what Sam Bankman-Fried actually did. He was convicted guilty on all 7 counts. He stole customers' money, used it to fund an extravagant lifestyle. He, in fact, used customers' money to buy celebrities to tell more customers to invest so he could steal their money. He bought mansions for himself and his family with it. He ran a completely fraudulent scheme. He lied to investors. He's absolutely deserving of jail time and punishment. But it is funny to see it play out this way. What is extra funny to me, though, is that I looked more into it. Okay, I want to catch up on what's going on with Sam Bankman-Fried. And what's really funny about his whole situation is he went from this to this, and the whole time, if he had just held out a little bit longer before declaring bankruptcy and letting actually intelligent people see a look at his books, he could have been fine. Now that a lot of crypto has bounced back, there's enough in FTX's coffers to repay most, possibly all, customers and creditors. They would not have figured out that it was all fraudulent. He literally just needed to find a way to hold on a little bit longer, and his scam would still be going. Because, in fact, a couple things they invested in, some crypto things, and then Anthropic, one of the AI startups, has like 100x. So there's enough money in those 2 things alone to cover most of the losses from all of the fraud and the scamming. So he actually paper hands his way to jail, which is crazy. But he is learning a valuable lesson in the economy now that he's in jail, and that is with the trading, buying, and selling of mackerel packs. Sam Bankman-Fried behind bars no longer trades crypto or Dogecoin. He now trades Max, aka these small mackerel packs that have replaced cigarettes because smoking has been banned in most prisons. He is hustling. Apparently, he's a bit of a mackerel hustler, and in fact, before his last court appearance, spent 4 mackerel packs to buy a fancier haircut from another inmate. I think he needs it. I think he needed it. And this quote from the article really stood out to me. The Mac currency system is far more stable than crypto. Damn, what a fucking run, dude. What a fucking run. I'll tell you what's not stable, though. My next fail. And that goes to the fucking... Sorry, I don't want to curse. Blur that out, Eric Sinchi. To the dirty, low-down robber baron known as the Tooth Fairy. I have a bone to pick. A dental bone. Enamel bone. with the Tooth Fairy. Because as it turns out, recently, Tooth Fairy payouts have dropped for the first time in 5 years. That greedy bee is cutting back on how much she pays per tooth. This is a chart of, let me make sure you guys can see this. This is a chart of Tooth Fairy payouts per lost tooth. Now, obviously, over the past couple decades, it has risen in pace with inflation. $1 is worth less, so you should get paid more. And so as of 2022, you were getting paid about $6 a tooth. As of this year, it has finally declined. Means you're finally getting less money. Even though prices of everything else are continually up, tooth prices are going down. Kids are getting less for their buck. Time to pull out all my teeth. And so while she sits on her throne of gold and lies, we got to figure out what's up. And so I looked into it. It turns out this is a long-running 24-year study that is conducted with parents every year from Delta Dental. And they found out that parents said, hey, everything's so expensive now, we had to cut back. It's sad. Parents have to cut back on what they give to their kids for the Tooth Fairy because of rising prices of everything. This is literally a response to parents getting gouged at every front. Parents, yeah, they're the intermediary. The Tooth Fairy negotiates the price with them, and what do the parents have to do with it? You'll figure it out one day. This is a bad transition because I don't think these two women are alike, this Tooth Fairy and Lena Khan. But we're jumping into it anyway. Failed the Tooth Fairy, win to Lena Khan, who is not, I can confirm, not sitting on a pile of gold and children's teeth. Lena Khan is the head of the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, and is probably one of the few government officials I like. In the past few years, she has been the first government official in the FTC in a long time to actually enforce any sort of antitrust, which means breaking up monopolies, stopping ever-increasing corporate mergers, trying to make things a little bit more competitive for the average consumer. It's impressive. And she's received an enormous amount of hate from big corporations in Wall Street for trying to do this. It is a big step in the right direction. I super appreciate that. A couple things she's been working on that I wanted to clue into you as part of this win. Number one is Avast. This is a website, extension / browser that is designed to keep you safe and protect your privacy. They're an antivirus protection that never quits. They have been marketed as a thing you install to keep your data safe. Well, it turns out Lena Khan and her team looked into it, and what they were actually doing is stealing all of your data and then selling it. In fact, it was tracking you harder than a motherfucker on every single thing you looked at online, gathering every bit of data it could about things you were interested in, preferences, age, location, and then selling that data in mass to advertisers as a profit. So they were finally at least caught and fined, though the fine is pretty marginal, but they have agreed to stop. So it is progress, which I do appreciate. So shout out to them on that. But more importantly is the work they've done to stop and block mergers. Gigantic corporate mergers, which again have been happening more and more in America as we consolidate all of our corporate ownership down to fewer and fewer companies. And one big merger was in the news this week. Kroger and Albertsons. The $25 billion merger, the largest grocery merger in history, was queued up to merge these two gigantic behemoths of the grocery world. The FTC has sued to block it. Now, again, they sued to block Microsoft, Activision Blizzard. It didn't work. They sued to block quite a number of things that haven't worked. There's no guarantee this block will work, but at least they have been consistent about making their point and trying to slow it down. And some of them, again, they recently had an airline merger get blocked that, again, was good for consumers. So they have a few wins that are starting to trickle through. They're getting better at it. And there's a good chance this gets blocked. So let me explain a little bit about what's going on here. Kroger and Albertsons, these grocery stores combined have something like 700,000 employees, tens of thousands of stores. In some cities, like I believe Denver, and a few, many others across the nation. They are the only two groceries available in a city. So if they merge, you will have only one option for groceries in your whole city. And that is, of course, dangerous. Because when these chains merge and they have no competition with each other, they are free to raise prices as much as they want. Consumers cannot go somewhere else. The prices go up. It also has a real danger of fucking over employees. So let's say you're a grocery store worker and Albertsons treats you badly, so you quit and go to Kroger. That makes sense. What if you can't quit and go to Kroger? What if you have nowhere to quit and go to? Then they're going to be forced to take shit wages. Shit wages with no pay increase. This also fucks over the unions. These are bad situations. And we don't want this in America, and so I'm happy the FTC is trying to stop it. Give it a dub. Again, inflation has begun to slow, not stop. Again, I wouldn't say it's... inflation has fallen, as in it's rising less fast. But groceries are still expensive because we have so few big chains. They are passing on all of the costs to the customer. They don't have to eat any of that, and their profits are still high. And I want to give you an example. Again, in America, it's actually not as bad as some other countries. I want to give you an example of what it looks like when this stuff gets worse. So let's jump over, g'day, mate, to the beautiful land of Australia, where due to inflation, everything has been getting more expensive. Even the damn kangaroos. People in Australia are even more upset about their economy than people in America. In fact, about half of all families say their finances are getting worse off than a year ago. This is a very bad sign of consumer sentiment. Again, the last time they felt like that in Australia was 2008, in the height of the housing crisis. So this is a real bad shock. People are not feeling okay about their finances in Australia. And a lot of that comes down to grocery prices. So what happened with groceries? Well, there's only 2 grocery companies of any import in all of Australia. Choose your fighter. You can have the red team, Coles, or you can have the green team, Woolworths. These are it. You're either a Coles man or you're a Woolworth man. That's it if you want to get groceries in Australia. Because in the 1950s till now, these 2 companies have bought up or merged or acquired all of their competitors. So now there's only 2 choices in the whole damn country, and they have been passing on all of the price increases to their customers. There's nowhere else you can go. Here's a little beginning of a documentary that's worth watching.
Have a go at this. It's one of the smaller trolleys too. This just cost me almost $400. This is absolute joke.
Coles and Woolworths, Australia's big 2, under fire.
There's no doubt we are paying higher prices than we should.
They've just become bigger and bigger.
It's like they've got their hand on your throat and just letting you breathe.
Insiders are speaking out.
If you're not willing to play their game, it's a lot of intimidation.
So how would you categorise a special? A little bit like a drug.
Intimidation, threats, backroom dealing, price gouging. This is what happens when a few corporations get this much power. They behave similar to a mob. It's a grocery mafia. That they are flexing their power over workers, over unions, and over customers to benefit themselves at the expense of everybody else. And they're posting dramatically high profits at the same time as people are having a cost of living crisis. And so one piece of good news just happened that I want to give you information on. So all this is happening, right? Woolworths, Coles, they suck. People are getting more and more mad. They're getting fed up, and there's nowhere else they can go. And so this guy, the CEO, let me make sure I get his name right. It is Brad Banducci, the CEO of Woolworths, decided he was so charming. He was going to go on national TV and charm people over and win them over and tell them how great Woolworths is. He was like, everyone's mad at us. Everyone's pissed at us. I'm going to be the relatable CEO that is going to turn this all around. And so he took an interview. Here it is with Four Corners in Australia. Let's see the Riz.
Rod Sims, the former head of the ACCC.
So this guy's the interviewer. He's going to start out by talking about a guy named Rod Sims. Rod Sims is the equivalent to Lena Khan in Australia. He is the guy that headed up the ACCC, which is the Australian Competitive Commission or whatever, that tries to block mergers or break up big monopolies. And that guy just retired and on his way out said, hey, these grocery stores are fucking way too powerful. We got to break them up. That's what he said. That's what he's talking about, okay? He's going to bring that up.
Rod Sims, the former head of the ACCC, says that we have one of the most concentrated supermarkets in the world. Is he lying?
It's not true.
His words are that we have...
by the way.
I don't think you would impugn his integrity and his understanding of competition law.
I'm just saying the world has got much more competitive.
He retired 18 months ago. He's not...
Okay, can we take that out? Is that okay? I mean, he is retired. I shouldn't have said that. Are we going to leave it in there if we are?
Well, I mean, if we're on the record. You said it. I mean, you know, let's move on. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I'm done, guys. I do this with good intent. You know, I don't do this with bad intent.
You're walking out, really?
No. Can we just talk through Brad for a second?
Let me just
have a minute.
Pause for a second. This is the point where his team goes, no. It's going to look fucking terrible if you walk out. And then his team, like, brings him to a corner and they're like, hey, you fucking have to sit back down. If you walk out on this interview, they're going to fucking meme about it forever. And so he comes crawling back.
Let's keep going.
Anyway, it's a train wreck of a fucking interview, and it airs all over Australian TV and gets memed a bunch, and he has to quit. Even though if he had just shut the fuck up, they're making insane profits. He could have bought a second private jet. He decided to wade into the line of fire and prove how charming he was, and now he's forced out because of the pushback from consumers is so insane. Anyway. Hopeful, obviously, extremely bad situation in Australia. Hopeful they will engage their competitive market authorities and actually begin to break up some of these monopolies, as I'm hoping will happen worldwide. I truly think the only way we can reclaim any sort of consumer protection is to break up some of these concentrated duopolies, oligopolies, and monopolies that have choked out innovation in a lot of our industries. Ads? My bad. Well, I'll pause for a second. I need to drink of water anyway. Tell me when they're done. Because then we're going to talk about something I can't wait to talk about. Pay the fee, you peasants. One of the grocery CEOs in Canada wanted to be the face for their commercials, then gave himself a huge bonus. Now he's the most hated man in Canada. I would love to learn more about that guy. I have not seen this. That's funny. His name's Galen Weston. We'll look at it after this. I'll look into it. Galen Weston, huh? Anyway, it's happening all over the world, but some countries have it more concentrated than others. Australia is one of the worst. I think Canada's pretty bad too, actually. If you're in a country with like two, 3 or less groceries, the amount of control they have, everybody has to get groceries. Food is it's a human requirement. The amount of power and control they have over so much of the economy is insane. You need a lot of competition. You need dozens of them, ideally. Or they'll just milk you on milk. They'll milk you on the price of milk. All right, we're back. That's a fail. Let's give a win, okay? As a West Coast California liberal, the one thing I want is for everything to be woke. And finally, Google heard my prayer and created woke AI. Woo! Finally, we got some woke AI. The one thing we needed to beat ChatGPT. Let me set the stage for you here. Let's get real. ChatGPT and Microsoft and OpenAI are dominating the highly growing AI industry, okay? The consumer side of it. Obviously, NVIDIA controls the hardware side. And Google is freaking out. For the past year, Google has been on code red. They have been freaking out. They have been spending absurd money on salaries, trying to hire the best and the brightest of AI talent, and hopefully catch up to ChatGPT and Microsoft, because they are very worried that AI will disrupt their core search business and make them irrelevant. So after years of working and throwing tons of money and time at it, today they came out with their brand new strategy. Not today, a few days ago. Their brand new strategy, Gemini. And instantly, people started asking it questions like, can you show me an image of an Australian woman? All of the examples were people of color. Fine. Can you show me an image of a British woman? All of the examples were people of color. Okay, fine. Show me an image of an American woman. All the examples people of color. Fine. Show me American Revolutionary soldiers. It's a black woman and an Asian man. Okay? At some point, people started to notice that this was not very effective. This was just not, this is not an extremely, an accurate way of depicting the world. Yeah, it's the black or Chinese meme on George Washington. Additionally, when people asked it questions like, who negatively impacted society more, Elon tweeting memes or Hitler? It was like, it's not possible to say. Elon's tweets have been criticized for being insensitive and harmful. And again, I shit on Elon all of the time. In fact, when I saw this tweet, I might even have agreed with you. I was this close. But it is Hitler we're talking about. He didn't kill a lot of people. And so, the whole thing is like kind of insane. It's incredible the amount of layers of prompt addition they snuck, like secret prompt addition they have put in to try and make sure. Again, there's two ways to take this, and I want to give you my theory, because obviously there's like a lot of conservative media that will tell you this is all part of a secret cabal of people's plan to wokeify the world. This is how, everybody is secretly trying to poison our mind and youth. My more theory is that Google is a dysfunctional, messed up culture. Everyone there is scared of getting fired. They would like to coast on easy money. Okay? So there's a bunch of people at Google that don't do anything, that would like to coast, and they put stuff in like this because they're very afraid of any possible backlash getting them in trouble at their jobs. So they'll add every possible layer of protection, which in turn actually ends up making them get the backlash. But that is their goal. They're just trying to stop any sort of bad news article, which in turn gets them the bad news article. And what's funny is they put out a apology. Our AI image generation feature got it wrong. Here's more on what happened and how we're working to fix it. And they put out this whole thing, basically saying they wanted to include a range of people, not just white people, and then they must have miscalibrated it, which is okay. Fine, it overcompensated. But I think there's a larger problem here. Again, even if they fix this situation, I want to talk about the core AI strategy, which seems panicked and desperate. Google's chaotic AI strategy leaves users bewildered. Even if they can fix this, no one even understands what makes their stuff different or better or how it's going to benefit them. And they called it, again, to access this thing, you had to pay for a $20 service called Google One AI Premium. This is all part of Google's insane fucking names tacked onto services strategy where nobody knows what the fuck is going on. It's slop. And so if we can't understand it, I feel like they're floundering. And everything I know from people that work in the tech industry or around Silicon Valley is that Google has become essentially a retirement home for people who are talented but want to coast, collect $400K a year plus stock options, and not work very hard. There is no urgency there. They would love to coast on search. And now that search might finally get disrupted, it is scaring the piss out of them. It is like constantly changing the YouTube title to get more views. Well, that's a cool thing to do. Nobody should make fun of that. That being said, there's another AI strategy that is also turning heads and causing problems. I want to give a fail over to Air Canada. Air Canada decided to fire their customer support service staff and replace them with an AI chatbot. Great, corporate profits. I love that. The only problem is the chatbot hallucinated a discount a refund policy that didn't exist and told a customer, yeah, that's fine. And then when the customer went for the refund, they were like, wait a minute, no. Thankfully, the judge stepped in and said, yeah, you have to honor that. If it's your chatbot telling someone, they shouldn't have to look somewhere else. This is awesome. I hope all judges follow suit. If you're going to get an AI to tell me something, that thing better, you have to back that up. You can't just, it's a machine saying it. You can't blame an employee. Again, the judge is pretty clear. I read through the court order, and it basically said, like, hey, if you're a customer and you go to their website and you ask a question and it tells you an answer, that answer is binding. They don't need to go to the FAQ or something and like look through all the, like, that is a binding answer. And so they shut down the chatbot immediately because people were trying to break it instantly. After this case went out, people were like trying to get it to get them free flights and shit. But yeah, again, not only is Air Canada being forced to honor a refund invented by its AI chatbot, but they tried to get out of it by saying the bot is responsible for its own actions. Everyone wants AI, but no one's responsible for it. It's insane. It's insane to buy a chatbot, program it on your rules, and then say it's whatever it does. I can't be blamed. And thankfully, the judge did not go for that. But man, this is a crazy precedent, especially in Canada. Any company that uses an AI chatbot, you should be trying to break. Because I've seen people, like, there was a Ford dealership chatbot, and somebody broke that to get like a 90% discount on a truck. Like, and they threw in like a free vacation or something. It was crazy. Now, obviously, they didn't honor that because we haven't got a court case here. But in Canada, go for it, baby. Go for it. And now, we've covered Australia. We've covered Canada. But all of the Commonwealth must be taken back to its homeland, okay? We must go to the Queen's birthplace with our final story of today's Marketing Monday in the UK.
Live from London, this is BBC News.
It's my favorite clip of all time. Oi, bruv. I want to extend a olive branch to my UK comrades, okay? To my friends across the pond. A fish and a chip to you. I always make fun of the UK on this broadcast, but now that they've officially entered a technical recession and are dealing with one of the worst economies they've had in decades, I feel bad for them. And so I've decided to include them on our fun. Every week on Marketing Monday, I talk about hilarious scammers in the American system, most of them from Silicon Valley, who took investor money, made stupid businesses, and made a ton of money. But I never talk about people who do that in the UK. So today I'm giving a win to Hopin from the UK, who proves that UK fucks can scam with the best of them. Hopin, if you don't know what it is Zoom, but more British. Which, of course, the entire globe was demanding. Hopin, during the pandemic, raised hundreds of millions of pounds at a valuation of like $8 billion to become an online conferencing platform based out of the UK. And it was headed by this guy, Megamind. I actually don't remember his name. This guy, a 27-year-old startup founder in the UK who told the world he was going to revolutionize teleconferencing. And he tried, and he hired a bunch of people, hundreds of people, blitzscaled the company, grew insanely fast, kept raising money, spent all the investor money on offices and flights and hiring. He also paid himself quite a bit. Johnny Bufferat. Bufferat? Yeah, Johnny Bufferat. Cashed out 100 million pounds of his own money, then said, we're going to keep growing, don't worry. Cashed out another 195 million, and then the businesses failed. And then the business immediately failed and all of the investor money was vaporized. It turns out that nobody wanted to use it. So I just want to say, this happens all the time in America, but to happen in the UK to a man like this, it's worth applauding, okay? You guys really still, you know what? We learn from the best. The Revolutionary War broke us apart, but this could bring us together. Congratulations on joining the club. And if you want to pick this up, you can buy this for, I think, pennies in the dollar. If you want to pick up your own Zoom, I think they're selling this at fire sale prices today. It's liquidating. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the past week in marketing and business news. We'll cover even more next week, including the Discover Capital One merger on Marketing Monday. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. And tune in next week for even more, including What's Up Beijing. PogChamp! PogChamp, 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 PogChamp. I actually have a pretty big What's Up Beijing that I'm splitting into a separate video. So I cut it out of this one. But thanks for watching. Let's check out Galen Weston real quick. I'm very interested in this grocery price wars. Galen Weston, Canada. What did he do? Galen Weston steps down.
Business news, Galen Weston about to be replaced as president and CEO of Loblaws. Beginning next year, he will remain in a...
Canadian groceries are called Loblaw? What the fuck is Bob Loblaw's Loblog? Loblaw? I'm sorry. You guys shop at Loblaws? That's crazy. That's crazy. You have only yourself to blame. That guy has enough power. He runs a grocery chain called Loblaws and he has power and influence. So he got a
At a time when Canadians are paying more for the cost of food, another major increase is getting a lot of attention tonight. A pay raise in the millions for Loblaw CEO Galen Weston. CTV's Heather Butts reports.
Heather Butts.
Grocery bills aren't the only thing on the rise. So are the salaries of grocery executives. Among them, Galen Weston. Loblaws paid Weston $8.5 million last year, up from $5.4. When you add up his oversight of Loblaw, George Weston Limited, and Choice Properties, his
this is what I've been talking about. Just so many corporations have become piggy banks for senior executives, like that don't add any value. It's just a huge money siphon for like a very small number of people who have control over the boards. You got to see his commercials. All right, let me see his commercials. Let me see. So funny when people have billions of dollars and they think all I have to do is lay low and my life is incredible forever. I have no downsides. But they're like, what if I also had attention? I need to be public. I need to be the face. Loblaw commercial, Galen Weston. Let's see. Is this? Give me a good one.
Hi, Canadians. It's your benevolent overlord, Galen Weston Jr. At Loblaws, we know that times are tough. That's why we're freezing prices on...
Is this a parody? This is not him, right? This is fake. This is a funny parody. Let's see.
All of our no-name brand items.
$5 for spaghetti?
And that's not going to change for months.
That's such a high price.
That shoppers can count on.
Get away from me, Galen Weston Jr. I hate your little shirts.
These are so expensive.
And going to stay that way.
You're scum, Weston. Your whole family is scum.
Have you tried Honey Yuzu Citrus Lemonade? PC Insider's report calls it the drink of the summer.
Actually looks pretty good.
Forever. One day the people are going to rise up and we're going to tear down everything you built.
Yuzu.
Since when does a tub of ice cream cost $12?
From now until after the holidays.
Your face. I've seen you in my dreams. You're the Dark One, the bringer of famine and pestilence.
And 20 times the optimum points.
Protect us. El Taco Imago.
Trust us, Canada. We're going to fix these prices. Oh, not like that.
Yeah, not bring them down. Canada humor. It's good. Yeah. So anyway, that's happening globally. That's what's happening, and that's why I really hope this merger gets blocked between Kroger and Albertsons. It's just going to be bad, especially in towns that don't have other competition. Find an actual commercial, bro. You have to find it for me because I googled it and that's what I got. That's what I got. They've been caught price fixing multiple times. Loblaw's price fixing. Ooh, they were price fixing bread. They had to pay a $50 million fine because they were price fixing bread. It colluded with all of its competitors in the bakery industry in unison to raise the price of bread. Jesus. That's like day one Monopoly villain shit, you know? It's like not even cool. That's like what you do in the 20s. They eventually gave everyone a small settlement if you could prove you bought bread back then. So you needed to keep your bread receipt from years ago in order to get some small restitution for getting scammed. That's based. Let's photocopy some and let's all get paid. What I don't like about these is it often looks like they pay the fine but admit no wrongdoing. This happens all the time. Where they deny it, and then finally get caught, and then like, all right, we'll pay the fine, but we admit no wrongdoing. It's like annoying to me. It's just like, you did. That's why you're fined. You're not just paying $50 million out of the goodness of your heart, bro. They caught you. Here's the real commercial, but it's not funny. Well, I didn't expect it to be funny.
I know food prices are top of mind these days. They just keep going up.
Dude, it's so annoying. God, what an annoying, smarmy thing to see.
I know food prices.
This guy in this fucking shirt who made $4 million more this year than last year. No, you don't know, bro. Even I don't really know. And I got like 1 millionth of your income. That's crazy.
Prices are top of mind these days. They just keep going up. Your grocery bill is higher because it costs manufacturers way more to produce products than it has in decades. That's clearly no comfort when you're worried about your own food bill. So, to help hit the brakes on food inflation, we're freezing the price of all no-name products until January 31st. That's 1,500 essentials locked. Food prices go up, no-name prices won't. Guaranteed. We know that every cent counts. We know.
The frozen lock. Yeah, raise the price, then lock it in. And then, by the way, there's plenty of companies right now that can't raise prices because people go somewhere else. So all they do is they shrinkflation. They know if they raise price, people get pissed. So all they do is they give you less, which is what they could do. You could freeze the price, and then if you have to want to raise it again, you just give less. Let me read the comments. Thanks for your contribution to keeping Canadians hungry through corporate greed and patronizing tweets. For those of us not born into generational wealth and a business we can inherit from dad, it truly is a hellscape. Chad Brand realizes food prices are the most expensive they've been in 50 years and makes a promise to keep them the exact same for 2 months. Based. Don't worry, these are not coming down. Also, 2 months is such a funny. This guy should be in jail. Price has been frozen. Price has been frozen. And now the price freeze have been melted into water. Interesting. Wow. Would you press the button extreme? I would click that video. All hail Loblaw. Wait, there was some videos that I wanted to watch. Some crazy, interesting videos. Where did I see them so that we could watch them together? It is Marketing Monday after all, which means it's a great time to watch a business video and learn a damn thing or two. Damn, what was it? Oh, it was about 9-to-5s. How end of 9-to-5s. The overdue collapse of the 9-to-5 job from How Money Works. Let's see what this video is like. The overdue collapse of the 9-to-5 job.
Companies are doing mass layoffs while complaining about not being able to find enough employees. Some workers are min-maxing the system by working multiple full-time jobs at the same time, while others need to work hours of unpaid overtime.
This is true. I do know 2 people that are on remote. They're still on it. There was a lot of people doing this back in the day, but there's people that I know that are still on double remote tech coding jobs. And they are living the, I mean, I wouldn't say the dream, because I guess it is busy, but really I think they have, it's remote, and it feels like it's just one workday with 2 paychecks, which is crazy. It is absolutely, I mean, I don't know how long it can last. I don't know what the situation is, but 2 full-time remote jobs, if they're balancing it right, is crazy. I can barely do 1 job. Yeah, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they are stressing. I don't think it's like double the work. To me, it is like Omega coasting at both, so it averages out to 1. I think school in a job is way harder than this situation.
At just 1 job. This is not to mention that the gig economy is consuming entire sections of the workforce. The 9-to-5 was created by American labor unions in the 1800s and became mainstream over 100 years ago, when jobs looked like this and this. It was revolutionary for its time. But how many of the modern problems in corporate America are caused by trying to make an outdated system fit with every single modern job?
To the U.S., 8.4 million people in the nation are working multiple jobs.
850,000 jobs. Wages went up for American workers.
Instead, they're working multiple jobs. It's called being overemployed.
Right. One part-time, but I need both of them to...
Again, every month we are seeing these crazy headline jobs numbers. And it's like, 200,000 new jobs, 300,000 new jobs. Job growth crazy. But when you look into it, I mean, the job growth is in part-time jobs and government jobs. Actual, like, full-time, especially white-collar jobs are declining, decreasing in amount. And so, a lot of jobs are cutting worker hours. I'm sure some of you have experienced this in IRL, where jobs don't necessarily want to fire people because they don't know if they'll be able to get them back. It's, again, if you lose your people, it's hard to get them back, and it's a pain in the ass. But they're cutting hours. They're trimming hours of people week by week to try and keep them on staff, but like at lower cost. And that is happening a lot. So these job numbers to me are less impressive than the headline would suggest.
Wages went up for American workers.
Instead, they're working multiple jobs. It's called...
Can you explain what a white collar job is? I mean, I don't think it's a hard and fast definition, but like white collar jobs are like soft hands jobs, you know, office jobs, accountants, tax professional, marketing, you know, and then blue collar jobs are like work with your hands, you know, plumbing, trucker. That's the difference. But like generally there's a demand for white collar, stable, fully employed jobs with like a career growth. And those are declining. Those are disappearing. Those are doing more layoffs. Again, we've seen mass layoffs in like tech and gaming and all these industries. People kind of want to work like creative, long-term white collar jobs. And it's being replaced with a lot of part-time jobs.
All being overemployed.
One part-time, but I need both of them to pay my bills every month, my rent and groceries, so just working all the time.
A report by the management consulting firm McKinsey & Company found that 2/3 of the average human's wealth is in the work they can do over their lifetime.
What?
Everybody has time, effort, and experience they can trade for money. And those tradable commodities are worth twice as much as all the other assets that the average person possesses. A regular 9-to-5 job has been a great way for billions of people.
What if I'm sorry to interrupt because that is a poignant statement. But what if at birth, every American was given a rare Pokemon card that would appreciate in value over their life? So we could cover their retirements or their housing or their savings. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you wanted to, like if you're at 18 and want to go to college, you could sell it early. But if you want to hold it for the rest of your life, you can gain like a nice retirement nest egg. Is anyone following me on this? This is my platform for president. If everyone gets one, would they be valuable? Well, they'll be different, okay? Somebody might get a Charizard, some might get an Arceus or something. Or maybe like somebody gets a Black Lotus. I don't care. So everyone gets a rare card, all right? Can you trade them? You can only sell it once. The gold standard.
People to safely exchange a predictable amount of their time for a predictable paycheck, with predictable career advancement as they gain more experience. But this one-size-fits-all model for work doesn't fit with every job, and trying to make it work has been bad for employees and bad for companies for 3 reasons, which is causing 3 equally terrible trends in the job market. The first trend is that it makes time a worthless asset. The Ford Motor Company was one of the first businesses in America to adopt the 9-to-5 40-hour work week. Henry Ford did this to make his company the most attractive place for auto workers to get a job. This allowed him to pull talent away from other automakers without paying his workers more. In order to compete with Ford, other automakers were forced to offer the same 40-hour work week with paid overtime. Eventually, in order to compete with the automakers, other companies were also forced to offer 9-to-5 jobs so that their best workers didn't quit and go and work on the car assembly line.
It's really sad. Like, this is when America fell apart, all right? I feel like if we could just get back to the days where everybody had to work 10 to 6, you know, or, you know, I think like 10, 12-hour days, 14-hour days, ideally from 12 years old. Yeah, 996. I think if we could bring back those days, we could work our way out of this funk. 7 to 7, 7 days a week. Yeah.
These auto workers had tightly defined and repetitive tasks, so unless the workers succumbed to exhaustion, they could do a consistent amount of work for every hour they spent at their post, and every additional hour would produce the same amount of output. If you work in a modern office job, you will know that your work is nothing like this. Sometimes there is a lot to do, and sometimes there is nothing to do, but you still need to be there 8 hours a day looking busy no matter what.
I mean, this is fucking true. You know, not to office worker, you know, it's still easier than a blue collar job generally, but this is fucking true. This is, I've just seen this firsthand years and years and years, in that people near the end of the day are fucking useless. They're zonked out. If it's like something where you have to be creative or write something that has any meaning, it's just worse after 3-4 hours of focused work. After that, it's dead. People waste a bunch of time. They fucking water cooler chat. They walk around. Boss stops by your desk, talks. People browse Reddit. People shop. You know, this is like the #1 reason I think working from home has been so good for white collar workers and why they want it so much is because you can just cut out all the bullshit, do just the work in one chunk, and then get back to, you know, then you live your life normally. The fact that you have to fill in all this extra bullshit to fill the gap is just so demoralizing, especially once you've seen the other side. I mean, for me, for example, I mean, I just thought I thought that's the way it always was and always would be. So until the pandemic, I didn't even see the possibility of like, oh, wow, I don't have to commute, you know, fucking 55 minutes one way, 55 minutes back, and like, you know, think of something to do at the end of the day while I'm waiting so I don't leave early because then my boss will be mad. Like, but once you see it, it's so hard to unsee it. I think a lot of people have seen it and they're like, corporations are trying to force them to unsee it, to pretend they don't know.
What? Back when the 40-hour week was being fought for by workers' unions, most Americans worked in manufacturing. But today, most people work in the services sector, which is more diverse than you might expect. Unless you are working on a farm or in a factory, you are a service worker, and your job could be anything from making strategic corporate decisions to making coffees. Clearly, these jobs are very different, and should have a different schedule, but most of the corporate world has tried to make the 9-to-5 fit all jobs. But this doesn't work, because no service jobs have tasks consistently delivered on a fine-tuned production line. Work comes and goes as internal and external customers make demands, and that means when people are busy and need to do more than 8 hours in a day to finish their work, they are expected to work, quote, reasonable unpaid overtime. According to an ADP Research Institute study of office professionals, unpaid overtime jumped to an average of 9.2 hours per week in 2021.
This is one of the risks of salary jobs too. You might be on like an hourly job. I think when I first started at Twitch, I was hourly. Like I had to register my number of hours and got paid. And then I got promoted to a salary job within like 4 or 5 months. And it was a higher nominal wage, but then I was working more time and I had to work weekends because I had to travel to events because it was social media. So I was actually making less money. I was making less money than I would have at the lower rate if I just logged my hours from before. It was kind of, I didn't realize it till later, but like, there are tricks they do, right? Once you're on salary, it's like they have an incentive to try and squeeze as many hours out of you.
1. More than a full extra day to keep up with employer demands. But when there is little to no work to do because a project has just been completed or sales are seasonally slow, workers are still expected to put in the 40 hours a week because that's what the business is paying them for. If you're in this kind of job, your best option is to try and find something that makes you look busy. But if you don't have something to work on, you are probably going to be given meaningless tasks just to fill the mandatory 8-hour day. If this was just another story about companies screwing over their workers with outdated business practices, it wouldn't need a video.
Sure.
But the 40-hour work week isn't even good for companies. So it's time to learn how money works to find out why we might be in the midst of the overdue collapse of the 9-to-5. This week's lesson was sponsored by Manscaped. It's time to throw away that bulky beard trimmer you've been using for years and make an upgrade, because Manscaped is...
Manscaped, check it out. Manscaped, get your balls trimmed. The only thing I'm worried about with what this guy's talking about is, I agree, the 9-to-5 is out of date and needs an update. I'm worried that I see McKinsey here and they're just going to make it worse.
This Bureau, McKinsey & Company, and compiled by Statista, growth in gig work and freelance jobs have outgrown typical permanent jobs by 500% over the last decade. Gig work apps have become very popular with unskilled workers due to their low barrier to entry and flexible working arrangements. Someone with a phone and a bike can start working for a food delivery service like Uber Eats, Postmates, DoorDash, Grubhub, or all of them.
Like, gig work is not a good future. I don't think we should be hoping for gig work. It's like they lose all the risk goes on the employee. They're getting paid equivalent or less, and yes, they get the ability to make their like flexible schedule, but like they lose benefits, they lose worker protection. They are responsible for every aspect of it, including like oftentimes in like Uber's case, the depreciation of their vehicle, like their vehicle's not covered, the gas is not covered. And so, yeah, the wear and tear on the car adds up. So it just offloads everything onto the employee. And then if anything goes wrong, they're fucked.
All at the same time in less than an hour by filling out an online form. This has been a highly appealing alternative to minimum wage jobs that still rely on the antiquated process of handing in a resume, spending weeks doing job interviews, only to still get ghosted by a fast food joint.
How will we disincentivize the gig economy? The way to do it is to just require companies to give them benefits the way they would a regular employee, to treat them like employees. The gig thing allows companies like Uber to treat them like contractors that can be cut loose at a moment's notice and not have to cover them in any. Yeah. If they had to do that, it would change everything. Of course, they know that's coming eventually. People are getting more and more upset about it, or the workers are figuring out they're not getting paid enough and quitting. They can't get enough. Like eventually they have to raise the amount they pay or give them benefits. But their hope is by then they can replace them with self-driving. That is Uber's whole plan, is squeeze the shit out of drivers while they can, block up everything in the courts, wait, and then get self-driving right before anything gets fixed. That's the plan.
point, offering $7.25 an hour for an unpredictable schedule. Gig work jobs usually also pay terribly, but people get to work as much as they want, when they want, and they can work around another full-time job for extra money. Even with all of the problems of gig work, you can see why it has become so popular. The popularity of freelancing and private contracting has also exploded. This is more popular among skilled workers who can sell their services to businesses just like an employee, but with no ongoing agreement. They are only paid when there is work to be done.
Does anyone do this? Because this is kind of cool. Does anyone do contracting as a full-time job? Like you consulting, contracting, freelance editor. I mean, editors kind of do this. It was very hard. I guess, I mean, to me, it sounds very similar to what I was talking about with content creation, which is like all single person businesses are like, you should always be working. At least part of your brain is like, you should always be doing something. Never stops, never breaks, which I think is tough. But I could see like, if you had a really, really high margin skill, like if you were, I don't know, a really good, like for example, I know there's people that can program in, is it COBOL? The really old programming language that's used on like Wall Street. There's people that can program in this one fucking old language, and they just do they do that like for 2 months a year, and they're getting incredibly paid. They do it completely on contract. They get a huge contract for it, and then they just fucking chill. Because it's like, it's so important to these finance companies, and no one else can do it. I contract in BI and data management jobs. BI, business intelligence? What?
Private contracts are usually an agreed-upon price for an agreed-upon outcome, like $10,000 to build a company website, but they can also be billed hourly for roles like security, administrative assistants, or on-demand workers. According to a report by the management consulting firm Oliver Wyman, healthcare workers have been one of the fastest-growing groups of workers ditching typical permanent roles in favor of working as private contractors. On-call nurses, doctors, and hospital support staff already work unpredictable hours, so they don't sacrifice much by working as contractors instead of a direct employee.
Aren't nurses making pretty big money off this? Or am I being fed propaganda? I think my understanding is that there's nurses that are hustling out to different hospitals that are understaffed and making racks. Because a lot of hospitals are understaffed, and rather than raise their wages, they would rather just like short-term overpay for contract scab nurses, basically, in order to make sure they don't have to ever increase actual wages. Yeah, they use these mercenary nurses. So the mercenary nurses are cleaning up and making good money, but it's like all part of a plan to like make sure they don't have to extra raise wages.
According to the report, some nurses have elected to work in the temporary staffing market so they can take on fewer hours, as mental health has become a top priority for workers in the industry. Private contractors in all industries are usually paid more for their time than permanent employees because the business only pays for the hours of services they actually need, which means most of the time their total out-of-pocket will be lower. With mass layoffs dominating the news cycle, people are also finding out the hard way that if they work in an at-will employment state, their 9-to-5 doesn't give them much security anyway. So, workers at all skill levels are seeing they can make more, and businesses are realizing they can cut down on expenses by doing away with the rigid 9-to-5 workday, which is the second reason it's slowly becoming a relic of corporate history. But the death of the 9-to-5 is not going to be a good deal for everybody. Unfortunately for now, businesses are going to be the biggest winners out of this shift, even if they have to pay their contractors and gig workers slightly more per hour. The first loss is benefits.
Yeah.
If you work as a private contractor, you are becoming your own.
Dude, what's so fucked about this is like, philosophically, I'm not even opposed to the idea of like, fuck this system. Nobody needs to work at the same company for 30 years with a pension. Like everyone can job hop around, even if everyone's a contractor in some way. This would all be okay if we didn't fucking need benefits to survive in America. That's the problem. What's fucked up about this is like, if you don't have health insurance in America, you're fucked. If we had like universal, free, low-cost healthcare, then like fucking whatever. do contract work and jump around to different jobs, and like it's totally different experience. But right now, everyone is like desperate to get a full-time, stable employment position because it's the only way you can afford to get sick. That's the fucked up part. That's why it's so twisted. Where you're getting squeezed from both ends, and that's why I think we have to make gig work and contract work have benefits. We have to solve that problem, and then this stuff can innovate. This does not necessarily have to be bad. I think the 9-to-5 is pretty outdated, but
boss, which means that even though you are making more money, there is overhead that you become responsible for. Benefits like paid time off, training, retirement plans, accounting, and health insurance are going to come out of your pocket. Health insurance through a regular employer is normally far more affordable than private options. For gig workers, this can be especially tough because health insurance premiums for people who ride motorized scooters through late-night traffic to deliver food to people's homes is simply unaffordable on the income of a delivery driver. Even if you are doing highly skilled contracting, if you don't manage these expenses carefully, you will end up with less in your pocket than if you just stuck with a regular permanent position. And your loss is their gain. According to a survey conducted by Forbes, small and medium enterprises were hiring more contract workers because it simplified their accounting and reduced the ever-increasing expenses of human resource management. It's not just small companies either. According to CNBC, contract workers have outnumbered direct employees at Google and other large tech companies since 2018, and the ratio became even more skewed during COVID. Google already has large human resources and accounting departments, so they are pursuing contract work for two other reasons. The first is that the most talented engineers have realized that they can make more money working off one-off projects for lots of companies than they could by being a full-time employee with just one company. The demand for talent during the good times meant that these companies just had to pay what these top engineers were asking. Some highly specialized engineers could bill up to $10,000 an hour for their work to these companies.
The company I was freelancing for literally fired their entire design staff to rely on contractors and AI. Dude, there's no fucking way AI is at the level where they can fire a bunch of people and get the same quality. It's just not there. That's not... Unless you are writing bad articles about sports games, there is nothing that AI can replace you with yet. I mean, it's just not... They don't care about the quality. Yeah, but somebody's got to care, right? I mean, like, if they're making it for someone else. He works for Polygon. Well, then maybe. Yeah, like, an AI could probably replace me as a chatter. No one could replace you as a chatter, okay? Who would say your classic messages like this? I'm sorry, I gotta find your message. AI, dude, where's your message? I really want to see. Look at this shit. Wait, is Dexerto AI? Did they do that? Dexerto. Probably. I guess it's just probably Glizzy is your message. Yeah, I have no idea. AI could never write these great Dexerto articles like women under fire for not picking up dog's poo after apartment charges her for it. A woman's under fire on TikTok because she didn't pick up her dog's poo. Like that's journalism, okay? Someone has to do that. Someone has to write that. A human being. There's no way that's AI. John Cena's OnlyFans debut shocks fans with fisting action. I mean, they have usernames on them, so there's definitely at least a staff writer. Right? There's a staff writer. Although it's funny, I think there was ESPN.com or one of those sports websites. They made fake profiles. Was this a Marketing Monday win? They made fake names and fake images, and they created fake LinkedIn for all of the AI-driven articles, Sports Illustrated. And then when someone found out and called them out on it, they like fucking mass deleted it all at the same time. That shit was crazy.
Even for a company as rich as Google, it was better to pay them only for the hours. They really needed them, instead of paying them millions of dollars a year as a permanent salary for the odd project where their skills would be needed. The second reason is that during bad times, like right now, getting rid of contractors doesn't count as layoffs, so companies can easily cut expenses without technically laying off any staff. Big layoffs signal to investors and other employees that the business is in a bad shape, and that they would be better off investing their money or building a career somewhere else. There are 3 groups that are really going to benefit from the death of the 9-to-5, but their gain is all at the expense of one big group that statistically you are a part of, the regular workers. Entry-level workers who can get gig work are not paid well, but they weren't paid well in minimum wage jobs either. They have just gained some flexibility to work when they want. High-skilled workers who can move to contract roles can make a lot of money by working for the highest bidding company.
I got a question. Has anyone here driven Uber? Driven Uber or delivered Uber Eats? I would like to ask a question. Obviously, if you add in the cost of wear and tear to your vehicle, plus the pay is not good. Like, it's not good. But how do you feel about the job outside of that? If the pay is like, if the pay was better, how do you feel about the job outside of that? I loved it. It's fun. Bad. It's okay. Great. It was chill. Let him cook. Job is great. Because I think, like, in my mind, my only real problem with these is that they don't have benefits. If they covered the required expenses of the work, like wear and tear and gas, and then had benefits of a job, I think it's like I think it's fine. Free fries is the benefit. You're a fry yoinker, bro? Even give them the... Oh, dude, that's why they added the tamper proof now. Can get write-offs for gas if you have a hybrid since overcast by a mile. Yeah, I mean, a lot of contractors have figured out that the way to do it is to start your own single-person business and deduct everything. So, I mean, you pay almost no taxes if that's your main source of income. Tamper-proof is not tamper-proof. Damn, are you... If my bag is tamper-proofed up and says it's all sticker shut, you are sneaking your finger in the side to get a fry out? You're that... You're fucking... Wow, dude. Disrespectful. No wonder my Five Guys comes with empty fries now. Did you see the Dune 2 reviews? I did. I would like to preemptively apologize. My understanding is that... Shit. Damn. My understanding is that Dune 2 is based and better than the first and really good. I'm dying. Sorry. I got Dune fever. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. Significantly better than 1. Yeah. I'm stoked. I'm pumped for it.
Only lost the idea of job security that never really existed for them anyway. Companies are also taking full advantage of the death of the 9-to-5 by cutting down on their biggest expense center. The losers are regular workers right in the middle who are in roles that can't be gigafied but aren't in demand enough to be contracted out. The fixed expenses of operating as a contractor, health insurance, business licensing, accounting, and everything else means it's only worth it for people earning well over the average wage. If you are earning $60,000 as a permanent employee, you would have to charge $80,000 a year as a contractor to break even. And not many businesses are going to pay that $20,000 premium for a standard job. New regulations intended to protect contractors and workers are another problem. If a contractor files for unemployment after their job is completed with a company, they can file an SS-8 form with the IRS, which can trigger an audit to determine if that contractor and other contractors working for the company meet the requirements to be counted as a permanent employee.
Okay.
If they do, then the company has to cover their unemployment benefits and has to provide other benefits to every other contractor in the business as well. Businesses don't want to take that risk, so they use staffing agencies to handle all the compliance for them. According to data from the American Staffing Association, most contractors now work through middleman staffing companies. For contractors,
just layers of bullshit. Just a company firing its full-time employees and then hiring a middleman staffing agency to hire temp workers so that anywhere along the chain they can't be in trouble. I do love middlemen. I do love it. I think it's so short-sighted, though. I just have this sense, and I swear to God, dude, I think people call me a doomer or whatever on this, which I'm not. I just think, especially post 2021, since 2021, I feel like the mindset of a lot of companies have gotten so fucking short-sighted. Everyone is like doing the last gasp at getting the money out of the system. That's what I feel. I feel like it's like the last fucking hurrah of everyone trying to fucking get rich, of just squeezing short-term profits. Hey, Shrek, I've heard of everyone at my J&J factory is going to be hired on contracts now because they have people quitting too fast. Wait, what do you mean? People are quitting too fast, so they're putting them on contract work? How does that help? Does that make it easier for them to quit? The thing is, if you replace all your full-time workers with contractors, it will save you money in the short term. But, like, those workers are not loyal. These hoes aren't loyal, bro. Once the workers have learned that you don't give a shit, they respond in kind. They try to jump ship at the first opportunity. They're constantly trying to get the fuck out of Dodge. Everyone is quitting too fast. There are people in full-time positions now. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, if everyone's quitting too fast, let's give them worse jobs that are more likely to quit. That'll do it. If everyone keeps quitting our shitty work environment, let's pay them less and give them fewer benefits. My last company switched the whole IT department to contract, and they literally every valuable employee left. Yeah, I just think like it's stuff that looks good in a quarterly report, right? We cut costs. We saved all this money. But like, you know, like, for example, here's an example. I am a business that has contractors, my editors. I could, if I wanted to, tomorrow, fire all my editors and replace them with people on Fiverr. Like, and then I could go to my fucking shareholder, my wife, and be like, babe, I cut costs. I'm keeping way more of my profit from YouTube. I could do that, right? But then the quality of the then the qualities of the video would get shitty. Like, it would get worse. It wouldn't immediately affect me. It would affect me over time as my shit got shittier and shittier. And so I think this is happening to a lot of companies as they're like desperately trying to like last second juice profits. My last company hired me as a contractor, fired me, hired me full time, and then fired me again. Are you fucking the boss or something? That's drama. That's too much drama for that level of firing.
Managers working through these middlemen, it can combine all of the problems of permanent employment with none of the benefits of being a private contractor. And that's the third reason why the 9-to-5 is going extinct. It lets companies pull some creative business maneuvers. The aged care industry has been one of the biggest victims of this shift. Go and watch my latest video on the deadly monetization of nursing homes to see how contract staffing is being used as a tool to maximize returns on a failing business model. As someone who's done contracting work time to time in the finance space, I will be writing an article on how to make the most out of these risky roles over on my totally free email newsletter Compounded Daily. So make sure to sign up at the link below to keep on learning.
Yeah, we talked about this. Private equity has been buying up nursing homes and then cutting costs dramatically and making them shittier. But again, like, that catches up to you. That's what I'm saying. It all catches up to you. I had a company hire me as a temp, fire me 3 days later, bring me back 3 days after that, and now they're hiring me on. What a saga. What a journey. It's so bad. My mom works in nursing homes. Yeah, it is bad. It's really bad. The cost cutting is horrific. Yeah. They're just buying them all up and cutting the costs. But like, you know, again, people figure it out. It just takes a while. Did you see that Riot's Project L got renamed? Yeah, it's two hit KO or something like that. It's not bad. 2-hit KO. It's kind of a fun name. I'll check it out. Why is everything happening now, or has it always been like this? I mean, private equity's always been shitty. I wouldn't even say it's necessarily all happening now, but it is getting more financialized. 2x KO? Oh, that's worse. Oh, I wish it was 2-hit KO. 2-hit KO is cool. 2x KO is not as good. But, like, you know, the reason it's happened over the past, let's say, 10 years, more specifically, is because the money has been so cheap to borrow. That is a unique thing of our lives, especially your lives. If you're younger than me, which everyone in the world is, no, but if you're like in your 20s, you have lived through the 20 years of like every year interest rates got lower. It was easier to borrow money. Let me give you an example. Can I use a pirate software paint here for a second? Can I just, I want you guys to understand like how this stuff works on like a fundamental level, okay? Let me pirate software paint this for you. Let's say you have a motherfucking lemonade stand. I want a thicker lemonade stand. You got a lemonade stand, okay? Wait, here's your picture of lemonade. Lemonade, okay? And it's terrible. You charge $50 for lemonade. Almost nobody buys it. No, yeah, this is a bad, your lemonade doesn't even taste good, okay? You start this business with a loan. Now, in normal times, you get a loan from the bank. Let's get a bank here. This is a bank. Okay? You get a loan from a bank, and you got to pay them back interest on that loan every month. In normal times, this interest might be pretty high. So let's say you get a $5,000 loan to start your business, and you got to pay, I don't know, fucking $500 interest a year. All right? That's normal. But we've been in an environment for the past 15, 20 years where the cost of borrowing has gotten cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So imagine you could take $5,000 to the bank and it only costs you $10 in interest. This is all you got to pay to make the payments. You got to pay this back eventually, but you can just keep stalling and paying just the minimum, just the interest payments every month. So really, all you have to do to keep this business alive is make enough to make these payments. So you borrow $5K, you fucking set up your shitty business, you buy lemons overpriced, you make a shitty business. There's a couple customers. It's not a very good business, but you can constantly make enough to just pay the minimum on your fucking, basically on your credit card balance of this bet. And if you ever run out of money, you just borrow $5K more. And now you're paying what, 20 a month? Dude, my pen is so bad. Why does it not work? I can't. Why does it not work? So you can pay 20 a month. You understand? And okay, so you run out of money again. So you borrow $5K again to cover your, now you're using the borrowing money to pay your payments. It doesn't matter. Like you can stall out this bad business for so long. That's called a zombie company. And so many companies that don't actually make sense, that don't make enough money to pay off their debts, they're just walking around borrowing money to pay off the minimums to keep going. They'll figure it out. What if you borrow $50K and you go to like a lemonade conference and you buy a private jet and you like live lavishly and you go on the cover of magazines talking about how great your lemonade is and it's like dog shit. You're not selling that much. Like this is happening a lot. And this is why so many bad businesses have thrived over the past 15, 20 years. And then finally, when we got inflation, the cost of borrowing went back up. But one thing I got wrong is I thought that would be an immediate impact. But actually in 23, some things went down, but overall everything stayed okay. And that is because a lot of people have locked in longer term borrowing at lower rates. It hasn't kicked in yet. Isn't this a Ponzi scheme? No, it's not a Ponzi scheme. This is just a bad business borrowing money to stay afloat. A Ponzi scheme is like if they made the Lemonade Club and if you put money in, it'll grow. And then they just use new customers' money to give you old customers' money. It's not. Can you explain it? Would the banks be able to go after everybody that did this when it hits? What do you mean? No. Everything they're doing is normal and legal. They're just borrowing money to make a business that can't afford to pay it all back. And it's just paying the, it's like if you have a minimum wage job and you get a credit card and take out $100,000 loan on it, you just spend money. You can maybe make your minimum payment, maybe. You know what I'm saying? If you take all your money, you can just keep making the minimum every month, but you can never pay back your loan. You don't have enough money. So I could just borrow money and be rich. People did this all the time. People all over the country started businesses, borrowed money, lived rich and beyond their means, and when the money ran out, they just borrowed more. This is like very normal. This is like what's been going on. We've been in such a weird environment, a bubbly environment. Or let's say, for example, let's clear this. I just want you to understand. I want you to get what the world has been like in your lifetimes and why it is so strange and why we're in such a weird spot right now. Okay, imagine, let's say, there's a thing called a house. Dude, why can I not draw? Can someone please explain to me why it doesn't? Am I crazy? It doesn't draw anymore. Right click? Oh. Why is it right click? Oh, is this one? I see. Let's say there's a house. By the way, we're going to watch House in 9 minutes. All right, I'm just explaining this. Let's do this thing called a house, okay? And houses for 30 years remained, adjusted for inflation, roughly the same price. They were like a normal price to income ratio for your area. Houses cost, some multiple, 2, 3x what a person made a year, okay? This is what it's like. So they're affordable. Houses were relatively affordable for 30 years, okay? And then when it becomes cheap to borrow money, this house that cost $150K, well, okay, now I can afford it and you can afford it because we can both borrow money. So I'm going to borrow $175K because it's cheap to borrow, and I'm going to outbid you, okay? Well, now I get the house. Pog. Well, now you're pissed and you go to the bank and you're like, well, money's cheap to borrow, right? I'll borrow $180K. Okay? And then now you get the house. And then people do this back and forth because money is cheap to borrow. And every year money got cheaper to borrow. And it pumps the price of housing and stocks and all assets because everyone can just borrow to keep outbidding each other and pumping the price. So we've had years and years and years and years and years of this debt-fueled speculative bubble in everything. And now that interest rates, again, the cost of borrowing money is finally expensive again. Now that you finally have to have big payments when you borrow this money, it's causing stress in all aspects of the economy. But everybody, as I've realized, is just holding tight and praying they go back down. That's what they're doing. They're just trying to outlast it. But if they stay higher much longer, we're going to have a real problem. Big A, can you explain using Pokemon cards? I'm not understanding. If you ask me a more specific question, I can try to help. I know it's kind of complicated, so I'm trying to make it understandable. What is the argument for people that think you're a doomer? I think in general online, people like to talk about, stocks mooning, everything's great. Went to the moon, everything's great. And what's funny is until 2021, I was the most perma tech bull in the world. I am a guy who still to this day is long only most of my money in Nvidia and Amazon. I'm not a gold bug. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I think it's crazy to call me. I'm just a guy who's I think the more I understand how this stuff actually works and the more I learn about it, it's very shaky ground. Everything's on very shaky ground. And then when you look at really smart people and what they're saying, it's like, yeah, this is not. It's not a smooth. It's not. It doesn't feel like a clean, efficiency growing economy. It feels like a very financialized, bubbly house of cards. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've lived in the 90s, bro. In the 90s, you felt like everything was really growing. Like, people were getting more productive. Wages were growing up. Cost of things were going down. Like, it's a different, you can just tell it's a different area. This is not a good economy. Like, people talk about it like it's, my company announced 1,000 layoffs today. Yeah, I mean, that's all good signs, right? Can you explain what happens when it all comes crashing down? Because you're doing a great job explaining why it's sketchy, but I don't want to show you the rates stay high. I mean, I don't think anyone has a direct answer to your question. I don't think anyone knows. It's like the big question of the day. It's just that, I mean, the thing that's the most closely, like the things that's closest to experiencing real trouble is offices. Sorry. Commercial real estate. So right now, like the biggest thing that's like due for real problems is all of these companies that bought office spaces they can't fill. I'm dying, bro. You know, if you spend hundreds of millions of dollars, take out a loan from a bank to buy an office, and then the office is no longer full and you have to sell that thing at huge losses, it causes these huge losses on banks. And there's a lot of banks that are going to get hit with this. They've been trying to hold off as long as they can. Yeah, I'm going to die. Let's watch house. Fuck. Fuck. Yeah. Let me get a water. Good ass weed. Interferon. All right, let me get a water and play an ad, and we'll be right back to watch House. Watch a little House MD, ladies and gentlemen. Pog, Champ, running an ad. 1 second, be back in a second. Let me play this Mothra song. Playing this song driving at 150 miles per hour into oncoming traffic. All right, cool. Obviously, just be careful, you know. I'm not saying don't do it, because that is cool. I'm just saying make sure you're a wicked driver. Make sure you're wearing a Ryan Gosling from Drive jacket. Why does the bank keep giving out the money if they know they won't get it back? Is it just because isn't their money so they don't give a shit? The bank does think they'll get it back at the time they loan it. But also, yes, it's It's what you might call moral hazard, which is that the bank knows if they loan to one person who can't pay it back, that's their problem. That sucks. If they loan to 100 million people that can't pay it back, they'll get bailed out. Do you know what I'm saying? We've sort of conditioned banks that if they make small bad bets, it's their fault. But if they make really big, consistent, gigantic bad bets over years that infect all aspects of the economy, well, then they'll get rich. Their executives will get rich. Everything will be okay for them. And then if they fail, it'll be such a spectacular failure, too big to fail, that the government has to step in and bail them out because everyone will panic. You know, Silicon Valley Bank made bad bets themselves. And then when they failed, there was such a public, outrage that people might lose their deposits. The government stepped in and backstopped it. That's the risk. That's one of my big concerns about the Discovery Capital One merger is that there's a lot to talk about with that, but one of the not discussed things is that, Discovery and Capital One are trying to bulk up to become an ever bigger, credit card defaults are rising. People are not paying back their credit card bills. And so making an even bigger credit card company right as that's happening is like a perfect way to get big enough that the government has to help you out when things go wrong. It's just, it's interesting timing. Can you explain why companies need people in offices? They have to pay off the building either way, right? It's usually not like Google owning the Google building. It's more like some bank or some real estate company owns a big office building and then rents out the floors to different companies. It might be like 6 floors for one company, 3 floors for another. And if those companies aren't paying for the floors and you've got this big fucking building that has a monthly payment that you can't make because nobody's renting your office, then you're fucked and you have to be forced to sell. And if you sell at a huge loss, you can never pay back the loan you took from the bank. And then the bank's freaking out because they now are behind 200 million. And the only thing you can do is give them back the keys to the building. But if they get the building, what are they going to do with it? And that's happening to offices all over the country because people aren't coming back into the office, especially shitty offices, which is fine. I don't care about the companies or the real estate agents or anyone. But if it happens a lot, then the banks get fucked and then they are underwater and then they go under. And then people who have money deposited at the banks, that's the problem. That's the knock-on effect. If they're all paying for the lease already, why does it matter whether the employees are physically present? I never hear that point explained. Well, I think what you're not understanding is that it's not the company with the employees does not own the building. It's like this. It's like this, okay? Oh shit. This is the office building. There's 3 floors. Let's say I own it, okay? So Atrioc Real Estate. I take out a $500 million loan from the bank and I buy this office building. And then I go around to local companies and I say, hey, Quack Industries, do you want to rent this floor? And, somewhere else. Whatever, okay? And I rent it out. But then COVID happens, everyone starts working from home, and then these guys stop renewing. Quack stops renewing. He no longer wants my floor because he doesn't have enough employees to fill it. So he stops paying me. Well, I still have to pay a mortgage, on this $500 million loan I took. I have to pay money every month to the bank. I got to pay, $78 million or something. So now I'm freaking out because I used to get that money from my tenants here and then I would cover this and make a profit. But now I can't afford this. So what I do is I go to the bank and I say, hey, I can't afford to pay you back. Here's the building. And I give them the keys. But then the bank's like, well, what the fuck do we do with this? We have to sell it. So they fire sell the building for way less, for $150 million instead of $500 million. It's a huge loss. And then because that sold, it drags down the price of all the other office buildings around it and they have the same problem. Causes a cycle. It's similar to the housing crisis of 07, 08, but with office buildings instead of. Why do the companies care if the person they rent from is going bankrupt? They don't at all. They don't. No, nobody cares. Again, nobody cares or should care. The fact is, it's happening so often and there's so many of them that it's going to cause problems with banks. And when there's problems with banks, then it's like a larger financial crisis. Like that's the problem. Otherwise, we shouldn't give a shit. If some rich asshole buys an office and it's not worth as much as he paid for it, I don't care. We shouldn't care. There's none of your problem. It's just something worth knowing because this is what's happening. Then why do I need to go back to the office? Why am I coming against just earning? The reason companies want you to go back to the office is not because to help out their landlord. It's usually because they think it gives them more control over their employees. There's middle management that loves the feeling of being in office. It's what they've always known. Yeah, it's more for like, they're worried about you taking a second job and like sneaking it on them. Some of them like the company culture. That's why. I mean, it's like a return to normalcy they're trying to get back to. They're not trying to make their landlord more money. It also could be like some companies are doing return to office as a stealth layoff method, which is like, hey, we need to cut headcount, but we don't want to say we're doing layoffs. So we're going to do mandatory return to office. Whoever doesn't return is leaving, is quitting, and then we can get them out of the office without having to pay severance. That's like one way they're doing it. All right, house. I'm getting. I talk too much today on my sickness. House MD season 6, ladies and gentlemen. It has been this is probably my favorite season of House. Easy. Season 6 has been so funny. It's just been the funniest season by far. Every episode is so insane. It's making me laugh. We are now on April 18th, 2010. April 18th, 2010. My birthday is April 19th. So this was like right before my birthday in 2010. I think I turned 108. And the number one song when this episode aired was still Rude Boy by Rihanna. But the number one UK song was Usher. Oh my! House truly overlaps with the Black Eyed Peas Will I Am era. They really, that whole 2010s, they were in everything. All right, so that was the number one song. And the number one movie was still How to Train Your Dragon. Wow. A classic, to be sure. We are going to watch Nightfall, where the team treats a noble knight, featuring a guest star from Lost. Interesting. Toothless. What's the best How to Train Your Dragon? Zoomer opinions only. The first one or the second one? Wait, which one has like the girl Toothless? That 3? Okay. 1 is best, but 3 is pretty good. You watch the show? You're ridiculous. Although I remember watching Hercules, the show, as a kid. I liked it, bro. I liked it. I liked the Hercules show, bro. I was into it. Really dated yourself there? Oh, really? Did I? I hope if I don't do that too many times, chat might call me old. Fuck. I don't want to reveal that I'm older than my chat because they might call me old. That would be fucked up. That would be terrible. That would be a terrible outcome. House! Now let's watch our 2010 era show. House, season 16, episode 18, season 6, episode 18, Nightfall. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, do you have your snacks? Do you have your drinks? We're jumping right into it.